People are now missing greens in NBA 2K25. Look guys, it's 29-1. The RNG was so powerful, they have to put an end to this. This is like the 4th missed green I've seen this week. Is this not crazy? Have y'all been experiencing this? Zen Takeover. You know they got all the badges too in my team. Look. That was from Brandon Leon. Everyone give a prayer to Brandon Leon, okay? Koza put out a compilation of him missing layups on a layup build. Okay, guys? Koza, wide open, guys. What happened? Why is Mike Wang? Why does he still have a job? Look. Wide open, layup build. Why are we still on this pro play system? Look, wide open. Why aren't the gameplay devs fired? What is happening, bro? Guys, what's the confusion right here? Like, what's the confusion in the system? Let's think about it. What's going on to where it's making him miss? It's not like it's a fake. They clearly don't understand coding. You need to rebuild the engine, guys. Look at this. Come on. No one's in front of him. There's no contact. And it said bad shot selection. Look at this, bro. Good shot selection, wide open. Now this is real player percent. I think these should all go in. Bad shot selection. How? Wait, hold on. Why? But they wanted diversity though, but your game is broken. Why would just be diverse and spend money on this and that? Broken. Yeah, like what the corny. Posted a clip of my 7-1 missing a wide open layup. I was going for a dunk, but it forced me to give a layup. Niggas was to me saying I'm because I didn't dunk the ball. Like I have control and I missed an open layup. And I'm 7-1 with a 92 close shot. I got all the finishing ratings you need, bro. I got post control, all that. Crazy. Look at this, guys. And look at the animation though. Like the game's just bad and there's double twisters on their knees, mouth wide open, pandering to these gameplay devs. You know, they just have no integrity as men. Like, look at this, guys. Why can't we just get a quick animation? Like, why can't the game read that you want a quick animation? Why do you have to randomly go through these long trash animations? You feel me? There should definitely be a way to do like little quick layups and little quick dunks. Look, this slow, why? I'll never understand people, grown men, not people, grown, envious, traumatized gamers that defend this game. It's like wipe your mouth when you finish, my boy. And I guarantee you it said like open or something. Look at this. You should have put your coverage on, man. I don't know why you took your coverage off, Koza. This is a joke, bro. I think to make this more accurate, I don't know about the coding and all that, but clearly maybe it read this, maybe. I think here there should be some type of analyzation to see if people are even around. And if people aren't around, like that should go in too, you know? I think they just do it from here. I don't know, but sometimes when no one's around, you still miss wide open. This shit bad, dog. Waffle said, crazy how people will blame you for this. That's what you get for playing with timing off, skill issue, etc. I can go to the gym right now and make a wide open left hand layup, but you're telling me my 99 overall NBA superstar can't? Sad thing is timing off has been the most consistent way making layups for me too. I have noticed the same thing. Try timing. Missed even more. There's no escape. but y'all will do anything to defend 2K. You are bad human. That's what it is, man. No integrity, bro. We just need a better system in place on me. Now, Asmongold has dropped a video saying monetization is now illegal in the EU. Good sign. We are going to react to this, and this is a good sign, man. It's looking like things might start regressing. Maybe in 10 years, builds might be $50, or maybe they might be $300. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. A build's caution. Y'all hit that like button if you want builds to cost $10 each. Let's see what Asmon got to say, man.
A law now in Europe that they are actually changing and holding these companies accountable for their microtransactions. I have been waiting on this for years, and it's been something that we've been wanting for years. So we're going to see some of the details about this here.
Few days ago, the European Union made a move on the predatory practices in gaming.
Let's go. The European Union. Do y'all think the American Union will follow suit?
Thing is that they are finally focusing on something that has been part of the entire microtransaction system from day one.
That's right.
Scamming
That's
kids.
the day microtransactions were born, they were led by people who knew how to milk people's wallets. I mean, why else would we replace the name expansion packs with LCs? And of course, here we are specifically going to talk about the use of premium currencies.
That's right.
Now, what is surprising?
If you guys don't know, this is how they really finesse a lot of y'all. A lot of people are too dumb, or they just don't think about it. Literally, things that you are buying in swags be costing, like a sweatshirt could cost like $10 in real life, $20 in real life. That item you're buying could be, but to you, what you're purchasing it with is VC. So it doesn't correlate in your mind that you're spending $70 on this and you already bought the game for like $70. It doesn't correlate. But if it did correlate and the price was right there, you would be like, yo, I'm not finna buy this Reptar mascot for $20. When I go eat, it's $20. Or some damn t-shirt that's $5. You gonna make better choices if you could see it. There are literal scientists that help create these games to create addiction, all different. They got people studied down the data that they be doing to finesse you, and especially little kids. You're not coherent enough to really know what's going on, man. You need to be like Lottie, and you don't really know how much you're truly spending. That's why they have these in-game currencies instead of just saying, hey, this is $10.
Premium currency serves no purpose in video games other than to obfuscate and confuse the player on how much money they're spending. It is fundamentally manipulative, and it serves no purpose or value to the consumer other than to make them less aware of how much money they're spending.
Y'all remember the build system back in the day? They used to not tell you how much you're actually spending. Like, you couldn't figure it out. Before the rebirth, you couldn't figure out how much your build actually was. Like, the process is so long, that you couldn't figure out how much your build is and how much you're actually spending. It is brilliant by 2K, but it's really scammy, real trash. That's why the grind was always so long to upgrade your mind player, because they don't want you to know. And the only way you would know is if you kept track of how much you're spending over and over again, but usually who's really doing? No one.
Is that most people don't realize that premium currencies are a really bad thing. And because people don't know about this, it kind of proves why they exist. Simply said, the real reason why premium currencies exist is because people have an idea of how much things should cost in their own native currency. But if I see something available for Robux, I have no idea how much that is.
Yeah, how much is this pink flower crown? 50.
You know what's so funny? Maybe I'm wrong, but what 2K been doing is way worse than all these games. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all put me on. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. Why are grown men playing? Bro, they just put a twerking emote in Marvel Rivals. What's going on, man? What's going on, man?
And like, this especially works well on kids because like kids don't understand conversion because they're 7. You don't they're not even supposed to understand it.
One purpose of the premium currencies is hiding real value. On top of this, when you buy the premium currencies, you either buy a small bundle that doesn't give you enough currency to buy something, which means you have to buy more, or the bundle gives you way too much. And now the next time you want to buy something, you already have some of the leftover currency, so now you only have to buy the smaller pack to get it. So you buy again. Surely there has to be some kind of a catch, right?
Yeah.
There has to be something positive to premium currencies. Well, the thing is,
there's not.
Nope. The only reason
there's no value to them at all
is because they make more money.
There
is literally no other use for them. You could argue that premium currencies work for brand building. I mean, look at the famous V-Bucks or Primo Gems. Or
I don't think that there's a problem with premium currencies. It's just that they need to be displayed alongside their local currency equivalents. That's the problem. The problem isn't that they exist. It's the problem that they are the only thing that exists in the store page. That's the issue.
Points. So there could be an argument made there. However, that would only be true if the companies also didn't pull off their shenanigans with the bundles.
Yeah,
regardless, this has been the case with premium currencies since the early days.
That's right.
And surprisingly,
it's been an exploit
this
for a
doesn't
long
mean
time.
The infamous horse armor, while that is considered one of the first proper microtransactions, that one was just bought for good old $2.50. No, instead, we are talking about early EA stuff for normal money. Because
imagine just buying a game.
Normal person.
Imagine
well,
that.
EA
Wow.
may not have been the first one who invented this use of premium currencies, but they surely were one of the first ones to heavily profit from it. They were ahead of the curve, and because it worked so well, these days simply everyone uses it. Well, fast forward 10 years, and after way too many people got too many cases of getting scammed by video games, which technically they are not getting scammed, they are just getting baited into paying more, and after many boycotts that happened from gamers, which means they did not succeed because they were done by gamers, the European
They're
Union...
not going to succeed because the problem is that even if gamers vote against something and boycott it, the problem is that actually here's the real reason. Most people don't care.
Facts. Fake gamers, the casual negative 1% NPCs are what is ruining the reality of gaming. But people always want to be about with thumbs. It's a sickness.
And they don't understand the problem well enough to realize what the issue is. That's what the problem is.
They just coming home. I have the money. I'm a grown man, and I make 70K a year. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna just buy this. Y'all just want to cheese all day. You just always want to complain. I stuck, bro. Keep talking to everybody. I stuck at video games. Let me ruin every. Y'all is ruining the whole reality. Want to blame kids? Innocent. What the f is talking about? But I'm telling you, them is the cooking the game, and it might be you. Listen, you can be better.
And realized, hey, those are some pretty bad practices.
Yeah.
And just like other forms of gambling, lotteries, and addictive practices, premium currencies and microtransactions should be regulated.
Of course.
Otherwise,
Please.
things will
Of course.
keep getting worse. Which is exactly...
And a lot of people don't understand. Even y'all sellout creators, y'all don't understand. In a different reality, like people don't understand. If the micro wasn't as heavy, this player base would be triple or more. Therefore, you would be making way more money. Your whole life could be different. Think about that. You could be helping someone 10, 15 years from now change their whole reality. You feel me? I don't think a lot of people understand that the barrier to entry when it comes to 2K is too high, way too high. And it's helping people not have as much fun, just normal people, and just the community not grow. And it's a lot of effects, man.
What's been happening over the last 5 years. And so the European Union...
Like, say you was a stage player, you playing the same people, but imagine if the barrier to entry was way less. Imagine how poppin' the rec would be. There'd be so many more people, players, park, all this and that. You're not gonna run into meta as much. Think about it, man.
gave us this. And national authorities take action to protect children from harmful practices in video games.
It's about time.
This is an action against a game called Star Stable Online, which apparently was
The hell is
really
this?
good at sucking money out of parents.
Wow.
However, even though this is focusing on this specific game, this enforcing of action will also affect everyone
It's
else.
categorical.
Because
Oh, let's
if
go.
other
Exactly.
companies ignore what happened here, well,
they
they
get
might get
fined.
the same strike later too. Now, in short, the summary that circled the
Mentioning national authorities take action to protect children from harmful practices in video games. March 21st. Please. When is this gonna hit the US?
internet is honestly a pretty bad summary. Especially if you move around video games and you know what's going on, this one is not really for you. For
Yeah.
the most part, it is focusing on the advertising to children in video games.
Well, that's the issue, right? Is that they're advertising to people that are too young to understand what these conversion rates are, because in some
Facts.
cases they're literally like, you know, it's like you're in fourth grade, you don't understand what a conversion rate is, and you're not supposed to either. Like it's direct, it's made with the explicit purpose to confuse.
And then 2K, for instance, they're always going to never label their game for just adults, bro. That will never happen. So we might luck out. That's what it's looking at. Like, maybe no. I don't know.
Fuse kids. That is
Because
its goal.
throughout gaming history, there have been many cases of children bankrupting their parents in video games. However, overall, everything is also aimed at protecting adults. So first, here it mentions that you are not allowed to advertise to children specifically, which also means you can't urge them to quickly buy something for the game, which is where we can mention that this is not preventing from the game saying,
I
hey,
don't know how do you define what an advertisement to a kid is? Is it like how do you do
if
that?
you want the
Bro, as soon as you turn on 2K, you're hit with an ad. You try to get out that, then there's another ad. There's delays in it. It's crazy. As soon as you load into the park, there's a ad.
Yeah, it's like how do you enforce that?
It's more along the lines of showing that if you don't buy a boost or something really bad will happen to a character. Maybe they will leave or they will get hurt or something
Skill
like
boost.
that. Yep, there are
Gatorade
games who
boost.
actually
The
earn...
Dr. Kids app.
Remember they had park cards in? I might be responsible for park cards leaving. A lot of you don't understand. It wasn't that bad, bro. But when there was like no respect, would activate a park card. You had to have park cards ready for other that would do park cards. And Nick, like top that played offline, when they were about to lose, they would activate their park cards. And you just become God. You get to go instant rip or whatever. You couldn't do it in the stage though, but like it would stream snipe me. It wouldn't happen much to like normal people, but stream snipe me and just activate their park cards. And think about that, like the game's tight and they just activated some crazy shooting buff. And it's like, stop, no. Or they got this steel, they used to create so much chaos, bro. I made so many videos, so many rants, and it's finally gone. I'm really a pioneer to this. Imagine if this was in every year, bro. Imagine, bro. It stopped in 2K17. Imagine if it was in 18, 19, bro, especially 19. Oh my God. 20 during the pandemic. 21, the year of the Zeds. 22. yo, oh my God, bruh. And then it's not like the kid era, like everyone's grown, so everyone got money. They would have probably started putting it in the rec. Oh my God. Yo, oh my God, bruh. Oh, that would have been so fun.
Cries when a child clicks away from the ad. Okay.
Children do buy something
that's
quickly
a
to
lot.
help with the characters. And you can find entire articles about this back in 2018. Next, the games are not allowed to bait people with limited time purchases. Now, as far as I know, this is not talking about something like limited skins that are up during an event or something like that. Those should be fine. This is more focusing on those flash sales that happen in some games where you can see something on sale, but it is only up for you for like an hour and you quickly have to buy it and no one else can see it. I'm looking at you, Warcraft Rumble. The problem there...
Daily offers. Good. I don't know if they do that in 2K. Maybe in my team. But this is crazy, bro.
Is that these sales are specifically up only for the people who are more likely to buy. But then it mentions that there's...
it's selected targeted advertising. Pretty simple.
Damn.
Yeah, all that's super simple.
Small purchases. I'm not exactly sure what kind of a game would do something like that. A star stable online. Yeah. I assume it is something like, hey, you buy like a small horse.
Bro, if a grown man is playing a game like this, scary, bro. Scary human.
But in order for the small horse to run or something, you have to buy a big stable later. I don't know, I'm making this up. And lastly, it also mentions that if an influencer is talking about a video game, they should also mention the monetization. To be fair, this should have been a thing from the very beginning. Back in the day, I've made a Hoyoverse video or two, and yes, I still made jokes about the gacha machine. But here's the thing, after reading this, none of this really sounds that bad, right?
No, it's
not
good.
Like any of this is...
All of this is good because it's in the best interest of the consumer. All of this is like absolutely good. It's great.
Actually gonna affect any of the big video game corporations, right? Well, that's because this summary is mostly aimed at the European parents, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
It is supposed to tell them, hey, we are protecting you and your children. However, should we dive into the other documents that go into more details, we may realize that this also affects
other documents.
Someone like Riot Games.
See, this is what's good, is that as soon as they make the rule for one group, then all of them have to follow it. And that's the best part about this.
Let me tell you, that other document is a whole another beast. One that might actually improve monetizations in gaming.
Yep.
So here, the network's key principles on in-game virtual currencies is an 8-page long document, which is not that big, which is why, at the very beginning, they mentioned that this is not an exhaustive list of all the bad things companies are doing. So if you start doing something bad now, but immediately at the beginning, we have an interesting line. After talking about what virtual currencies are, they mentioned this. The CPC network considers in-game virtual currencies as digital representations of real-world monetary value when they serve no purpose other than, or for which other functions are secondary to providing for a method of payment, the purchase of digital content or services in video games.
Oh, we're feeling good, boys.
In
feeling
other
real good.
words, this is mainly focusing on games that simply have their own V-Bucks or Riot points.
They have no purpose.
In theory, something like gold in World of Warcraft is fine. The more interesting thing for us is that, yes, in some cases, Riot is screwed. And you will see that it's all in benefit of us, the players. Mainly if you hate something like the Ancient Sparks, you might have a laugh. So next, the document dives into unfair commercial practices.
This is my favorite thing, man. This picture. This is the I've been asking for actually years. This is the exact thing that I said. Just put the dollar amount next. This is all I want. Just put the dollar amount next to it, and I'm happy. That's it.
Includes exploiting cognitive biases. In other words, the game's bait you into paying. And here, according to the first principle, whenever a game has premium currencies, they are allowed to have it. So no, riot points are not going away. But when you are spending it, you also have to show the players the real value.
That is exactly
This is cool, because if you go to the skins found in League, besides the 1350 RP price, they will also have to show you that this is $12.
Yeah, all it needs next to it is a little parentheses and showing the local currency. That's all I'm asking for. And I think this is so feasible.
Anyone with self-control when it comes to buying stuff, this won't do much. But you would be surprised how much people are willing to pay when they don't know how much they are really paying. Next, the document mentions that this price should be shown even when you are converting one currency into another one.
Exactly.
Specifically, we could mention something like buying Mythic Essence with riot points, both of which are technically premium currencies, but they will still have to show you, theoretically, how much one Mythic Essence is now. And lastly, the prices shown have to be the base price points. If there are bundles that give you like 30% extra currency, those don't count. We're talking...
That's really big. That is crazy big. Because everything is built around having these bundles and the bonus things. And so all this does is it makes it look like the prices are even higher. I love this. That should be banned. Yeah, that is amazing.
About the raw value. And yes, the document also mentions that earning these currencies through gameplay doesn't count. Meaning you still have to show the full price, regardless of what's really happening with the currency. So yes, even the glorious Primo gems are getting screwed.
Exactly.
Which also includes the situations when you're buying gold in something like WoW. Anyway, next, the second principle dives into multiple premium currencies, which might impact Riot too. Because first, it mentions that games should avoid offering for purchase and mixing different in-game virtual currencies in one video game for purchasing in-game digital content or services. This means that if a game has multiple kinds of premium currencies, they have to merge them all into one. In theory, this means...
That's a W.
Thank God. There is no... Like, all of these things, and again, keep in mind...
I wish these white boys... I wish they knew about 2K, man.
Everything with this
they would be losing their mind.
With the explicit purpose of manipulating you. It is designed in order to flow over.
That ancient sparks are gone. Mythic Essence might be in danger, and TFT's currencies are getting screwed too. These should all fall under the premium currencies category together with riot points. So in the future, it is possible that you will not be able to buy ancient sparks for riot points, and instead you just spend your riot points with the real money value as you roll on the gacha machine.
See, this is what they do, is they try to add in more and more currencies because every point of currency conversion is a point where people lose the reference of how much money they're spending.
My Team Coins, VC.
And so that's the reason why there are so many of these currencies. They're put there intentionally to make you confused.
Be the biggest one. This might actually change the pricing, because it mentions that games should avoid offering in-game virtual currencies only in bundles, mismatching the value of purchasable in-game digital content and services. And
yeah, this is the most annoying thing. It's like you need to buy something and it's 1,200 points, and you can either buy your points in like 500, 1,000, or 2,000. So it's like you're always going to have an amount left over in order to keep you on the hook.
Denying customers the possibility to choose the specific amount of in-game virtual currency to be purchased. In other words, you are not allowed to sell bundles that don't match the price of in-game items. Which means, you know how in League you go into the store and you have a look at those 1350 RP skins? So then you decide to buy some RP and you realize, oh no, $10 don't give me enough, and 20...
Dude, this is some rat behavior.
That is so scary. I remember playing that in so many different games. I can't really remember with the 2K, but that is hilarious. I really have noticed that. I always wondered if anyone else like noticed this. I never heard it from other people before.
Behavior. So you can either buy 3,190 or you can buy 1,240. But all of the skins, let me go back and see if I can find this. All of the skins are 1,300, 900,
so you
and
gotta
11
buy more.
And 1,800.
And then they do like math to like, if you were to buy two, like it wouldn't be enough, so you would have to dabble even more.
It's ridiculous. It's rat behavior. Yes, it is. It's ridiculous. I think what they should do is they should just allow you to buy it directly. Like, I feel like that would probably solve any of these issues, is that any of these items that are in the game be purchasable with the equivalent amount that it would take if you converted the currencies. That's what they really need to do. Yeah, just remove premium currency. Yeah, because again, it adds no value.
Oh no, $10 don't give me enough, and $20 give me way too much. Ah, what a shame. Well, now Riot will just have to sell you the skin for $12, and that's it.
And then if you got left over, it's like almost have enough. This is kind of cool. I should buy, and then you're on the loop again. Feel me? These damn tactics.
Thank God. This was the most used predatory practice by far.
Oh yeah.
And if this is enforced, the players will greatly benefit from this. Anyway, Principle 4 is all about information. It's just telling you that you're supposed to tell people what you're buying, what it does, what are the features, and surely there aren't any companies that would be like hiding that kind of information, right? Then Principle
But they be hiding that 2K. I'm not even sure if skill boosts be working or not, man.
5 is all about withdrawal. Funnily enough, this means that you now have the classic 14 days for a refund. But it also mentions that the game can just tell you, hey, if you buy this, there will be no refunds, and that's it. Principle 6 is all about...
I feel like you should be able to refund any purchase in a video game within a period of time that's reasonable, like 14 days or 30 days. But if refund...
Bro, don't give 2K that power. Bro, they crashed the whole system. This build is never mind. I don't want this. I tried it.
Funding causes your account to get banned. I think that's also reasonable.
Using weird words which might scare people. For example, you can't tell people that, hey, if you buy this item, the EU law don't apply, because that's not how law works. What's interesting is that as part of this, companies are also not allowed to modify the value of the currencies, which means they can't legally take away your riot points if you get banned. But at the same time, modifying is also giving you RP for free, so maybe they can't give you RP anymore for sending them pictures. So maybe drawings for RP are gone. And lastly, Principle 7 is about protecting vulnerable customers, meaning that games shouldn't be designed with the idea of exploiting players for money. This
2K is done.
That's like all of them.
This could actually change the gaming industry if this worked. Also, when designing monetization, you are not allowed to target specific demographic. This is mostly a gray area because no one can prove.
Yeah, you can't prove it. Hey, Black History Month, all of a sudden there's bananas. There's Cuban links, and there's monkey mascots, and there's banana mascots. I don't know what's going on. The same with Fortnite, Black History Month. They released a bunch of monkeys, and then they have a raccoon. But Nick say you're tripping. Not tripping, bro. No other time of the year, but this, bro. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
But I think it's mostly aiming at not advertising for children. Games should also not hide real money purchases behind just normal gameplay purchases. I guess there are games where a game will offer you something in a shop for like gold or something, but then you click it and you buy it for real money. I don't know if it happens. There is a whole...
that sounds really cheesy. I bet it happens.
Separate point, just to make sure that you do not advertise to children, damn it. Games should also have a functional parent control if it is a game for kids. And if it is on a console that has something like this, it should use the native system. For example, Switch has its own parent control. And lastly, they should avoid preying on vulnerable customers by making them pay excessive amounts of money. Now, this one might be the most vague line there is.
Yeah,
it's basically a backdoor for situations where some companies are doing something really bad, but right now we are not sure what...
100 rebuild. I think that's just insanity, bro. For a basketball game that comes out yearly.
What that bad thing might be. Because in theory, gacha games should fall under excessive amounts of money. But the thing is that gacha games have a theoretical cap on how much you want to spend on a game. Because sure, it will cost you like $5,000 to cap off a character in Genshin, but in theory, you don't pay more than that because you already have them maxed out. There are some other games such as...
I think that the big problem is like it's games that have like uncapped ceilings. I think that's really the biggest issue the most is games that have like really big uncapped ceilings and they allow people to just spend a ridiculous amount of money in them. I think that's the big problem.
Lost Ark that don't have this. There you pay to upgrade items which only have a chance of upgrading. So theoretically, you can just keep paying more and more.
Oh boy.
So I think they later implemented some kind of a cap on how much players can actually spend in the game per day. And yes, in theory, Genshin...
$400 a day, by the way.
400 a
also
day.
Very reasoning for rolling on like artifacts and stuff. So I think...
Yeah, you can only spend $400 a day, guys.
Kinda it. Overall, this is a pretty good move from the EU, although it might also be a bit vague. The most important thing here is...
Yo, people are out there losing it. Who is spending more than $400? Bro, when people are behaving like this, they should like get checked in and like have like therapy like appointed to them by the government. Like, what's going on, bro?
Everything else is mostly a gray area on purpose. It is mostly aimed at the games that are really focusing on bankrupting people on purpose. And so, after this was released, and after Star Stable Online was given 1 month to remove their predatory practices, will anything change?
Absolutely. Absolutely it will. What I think will happen is that these features will be available in Europe, but for the clients that are in American, because you have like, you know, obviously like there's like an NA and EU client. The NA clients will not have this, but I could be worried. I could be thinking, oh, well, maybe even they will have to, because there could be European users that use NA clients. And if that happens, are they still entitled to the same laws? I think the answer to that is obviously yes. So maybe it will be applied to everything.
What about 2K, man?
Well, nope. I am pretty sure nothing will happen until one big corporation gets hit. Because in theory, there is enough gray area where everyone will just say, hey, I'm not part of this problem. And so I bet everyone will just sit quietly until someone gets hit.
Yeah.
And when that happens,
they have to make an example out of somebody.
Might get
You're
to
right.
see some kind of a change. It may start with EA and their FIFA shenanigans. Or it may start with
Why is he not talking about 2K?
But the moment the first company falls, everyone will follow. And so
as soon as one of them gets caught, that's it. It's over.
Finally, 10 years later, we might get back to just buying good old horse armor for 50 cents.
I don't know about that.
2K14 days?
Hopefully, right? I mean, I don't know.
So for us, it would be 2K14 days. Oh. Y'all click the video on the screen, man. Watch my hilarious rec videos.
But hey, here we go again. Yeah. Here we go again. People talking this, but when this hit the fan, everything I'm at made me. Now break it down. Yo, off the top of the dome.